Do you know any of the real history of the United States? Or you read books. As you read a book, well, Lincoln had the Pinkertons guard him before he was inaugurated. And they were basically paid to keep Lincoln from being assassinated. The precursors to what are the corporations and international banks now, basically the Pinkerton were their goons. And as far as titles in the United States, you should not have them. Like if you want to look up what Esquire is, knock yourself out. And what about the missing part of the 13th Amendment? And let's read a little bit here. The original 13th Amendment to our Constitution has been illegally removed from publication. One intent of the amendment was to prohibit the attorneys of powerful European bankers from holding office in America. During the conclusion of the War of 1812, when our Capitol Records building was burned and the Civil War, the bankers and lawyers removed the 13th Amendment, replacing it with the Slave Amendment, which should be the 14th. And in the missing part of the 13th Amendment, I'm reading here, if any citizen of the United States shall accept, claim, receive, or retain any title of nobility, of honor, or shall, without the consent of Congress, accept and retain any present pension, office, or emolument of any kind, whatever, from any emperor, king, prince, or foreign power, such person shall cease to be a citizen of the United States and shall be incapable of holding any office of trust or profit under them or either of them. So Obama, if he's a lawyer, maybe he should have his citizenship rescinded, taken away, based on being a lawyer. And if his wife has any sort of position, her too. Both the Clintons would be guilty also. And if maybe 2/3 of the elected officials are lawyers, they should be all be kicked out of office. Obviously, this is not going to happen, period. But, from the history of the United States, are we a nation with sovereignty? Land was given away in the 1800s and before. Stake a claim, you could farm, you could exist out on land. It was hard life. But as time progresses, the real owners of all the land in the world are calling back in land that they figure is theirs. You raise the taxes they raise the taxes on land, which is rent. You can afford a smaller and smaller piece, less and less. And basically what taxes you pay are rent to world authorities. And Patriot Act in Canada might be Bill C-51. It might be the NDAA, Patriot Act all wrapped up in one. If Canada has about 35 million in population, plus or minus, and if America has maybe 350 million actual citizens, maybe 50 or 100 million illegals, who knows, then Canada legal residents are about 1/10 of what the U.S. is. And their Patriot Act might be C-51. And a lot that happens in Canada is basically it's, corporation and banker haven. A lot of them have their secret meetings in Canada. And what is the population of Canada? I can put that on. Well, I'll get off subject. New Brunswick. There might be 1, 2, 3, or 4 corporations that run New Brunswick. Canada's huge. The landmass is huge. And if it's 0.7 of the landmass of Canada, New Brunswick, if 1, 2, 3, or 4 corporations run New Brunswick, then, well, it could be like a petri dish, for an infection. If what's studied there is let out, gas is more expensive than in the U.S. It's probably more expensive in Europe than it is in America also. Well, I know it is. And, well, that's a whole nother subject of the bankers screwing everybody over. The EU is a scam. But anyway, New Brunswick, Canada, if more people studied what's going on there and what the corporations get away with as far as they get logging rights from private owners, they get farming rights from private owners, they basically run anything. If you have anything to say, you are toast. And it's rich and poor, more and more in New Brunswick. And when military weapons were allegedly tested by satellite, New Brunswick was a good place to test. As far as you could barbecue with microwave or laser or whatever, satellite weapons, also aircraft, take care of the cows on the, out walking on the plains, dissect their organs, take them out, see how well you did. And in the U.S., when they were doing it, they could, it was aliens that did it. No, it was military tests on livestock. And, basically I knew some Canadians, and it's really horrific. And there used to be photos up on the internet, not anymore. That's another story. But anyway, C-51 in Canada, as far as for those of you out there that want to, basically have, maybe a botched version of what the corporations are doing, as far as one event changed all the laws in the country, whether it's one person that, acts out or a group of people that act out all at once, the nation's laws are not completely, not able to handle everything, because one event happens, and then the, people offshore, scumbags, want to change everything and just manipulate the public. How much has gone on where, are you that weak in the brain that you don't understand what's going on? Maybe C-51 will let you know how bad it is and what they're doing, and you should care about C-51. I don't live in Canada. I've known Canadians. I've talked with them, and, it's just getting beyond disgusting worldwide. And C-51 should be, the battle cry to get these bankers, these international corporate organized crime criminals and billionaires off our backs. And, well, I don't believe in violence, but medieval torture is too good for them.